Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at VRA. So I've not made a video on this one before, but it is something that's I suppose plucking a bit of interest, but not for this very moment in time, I have to say. So I don't know if you watch my channel very often, or if you're new to it, but I love altcoins, alright? Altcoins work extremely well when you get in at the right time. So when we see massive consolidations like this, and the market generally going down as well, it's very inspiring, because what we do is we look for opportunities, not just in general, but we plan way ahead for them. We look at things that have moved massively in the past, we look at things that have got a big community, I suppose, but we also look mostly at trend and what the trend will be like when it comes to an end. And I have to say, there's not really any altcoins that interest me at the moment, as in like buying right now. Everything looks like it wants to come down more. And that's fine, because this is why I'm making these videos on these specific altcoins. So I have to say, and you've got to listen, I'm not saying buy this now. Alright? I'm really just not. I'm telling you, I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but I am not going to be buying it now. Now, the thing about something like this is that it's moved so, we'll put it on the log scale so we can see it a bit better. It's moved massively in the past, right? It had this enormous big move, and I expect much of this was self-propelled promotion, so all kinds of Telegram groups and YouTube videos and people saying this, that and the other, and it was FOMO'd. It was FOMO'd into, and now it's broken. The FOMO has broken the chart. We see this, I mean, I've seen it many times over the years with altcoins. The FOMO has finished, and now there's only one way for it to go, which is down. So from the top down to these lowest wicks, just a modest 83% move. Now you think that might be, I suppose for some people who watch this, these videos, they think, well, 83, that's no big deal. I can wait for it to go down another bit more. Well, actually, this is where you're wrong, because if you were to think about buying it now, and we came down to the second breakout zone, that's a further 79% retracement from where we are right now. If we come down to actually where it was actually bullish, so it reclaimed the 200 exponential over here, came down to test it, and followed by a golden cross, that would be another 94% retracement from where we are at right now. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to come down to those levels. I'm just saying sometimes charts can be deceptive in the way that they appear, and you might think to yourself, well, it's lower than it was at the top, so it would be a good entry point to buy now. I believe in this, I want to buy it for the future. That's one way to trade it, but it can be a very slow and painful way to trade it, right? So altcoins like this, they offer extremely good opportunities, but those opportunities are far from ripe, right? So this is like a very small green tomato growing on the plant. You wouldn't want to eat that. I mean, you might get something out of it, but it's not going to be tasty. It's going to be a pretty bad way to get your $5 a day. So what we're looking for really is for this to break down further, and the lower it goes the better, because when it does go down to an absolute low, wherever that might be, whether it's another 50 or 70 or 80 or maybe even 90% from where we are right now, that's when we start to get excited. We don't want to buy it when it hits, when it goes down, because it could obviously go down lower. It can always go down lower. This is something that people have to recognize. They can always go lower. Trust me when I say it, coins like this can go lower than you ever imagine. And so we're not looking to buy this now. So let's just take it off the log scale for a moment and look about it, on its normal path, right? So what we can think about is, all right, how are we going to get a fix on this where it's going to change its direction? First of all, there's two ways to look at it, as in with using the same method. A consolidation will have a resistance, which it appears to have here, downtrending of resistance, which is actually very steep actually, resistance level. So in the past we kind of peaked around here, we were rejected all this area over here, and so far we've not come up to get tested from it again. So one thing we could think about is when we come up to test it, we're likely to get rejected, but when we finally break out of it, it would suggest that the consolidation is perhaps over, and it'll go into a period of accumulation. Now that could happen anywhere. That could happen here, it could happen down here, it could happen anywhere, but that's one way to first of all pinpoint that maybe it's not consolidating anymore, and after consolidation comes accumulation. But things can accumulate for an inordinate amount of time. They can accumulate for sometimes just a week or so. Sometimes they can take months to reaccumulate, and we're not looking to buy into it until it's at least in a confirmed accumulation. And at the moment, it's still very much in a downtrend, getting rejected here from the 21 exponential, which is this grey line here, which is also going to be below all major moving averages at the point that we're speaking right now. They've got an incoming death cross, which is only going to emphasize any further downtrend with these specific types of altcoins, these low cap altcoins. And I'm not here to get in any arguments. I'm saying I'm looking to buy this in the future, but right now I'm not. So I'm not slagging this coin off. I'm not saying it's dead or it's whatever. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm just telling you what's going to happen in my opinion, and why I'm even making a video on it right now. I'm not making a video on something that I think is not going to work out ever again. I'm making a video on something that I'm looking to enter at a good opportunity, because the volatility on this chart has been so amazing that I would expect it to do something similar. Even if it's just half of this or even more, I'd expect it to do that again. But right now, it's not going to do that. Okay, it's not going to do that. And if you want to get into an entry point, I know I made a video on Bepro, and people talking on there saying, "Oh, look, I'm just going to dollar cost average into this." Well, that's one way to deal with, I suppose, buying something like this. But when we've already spoken about how it could already, at this level, it could go down by another 70, 80, 90% from where we are right now, dollar cost averaging into something that looks quite, as devastating as that, I don't think is a good way to play this. You can dollar cost average into something less volatile with more likelihood to work out, like Bitcoin, for instance, or some top cap altcoins perhaps, but not something like this. But don't listen to me. I'm not telling you how to trade. I'm just letting you know my ideas. So it does look very much like this is going to continue down. We've got the significant rejection downwards trend line here. We've also got the incoming death cross, which does look like it's almost certainly going to happen. I cannot see this being resolved to the up, right? There's no reason why it should. So we have to think about areas of significant support. So we kind of are dancing around a zone around here, pretty much where the price action is right now. So we could think about this as one level, all right? So pretty much where we are right now. There's a wick here, a wick almost there, candle body there, bit of dancing around, and this is kind of where we are right now. I don't think that that's strong enough to hold, given everything we've spoken about. It's a bearish chart, definitely. So then we can think about, all right, where was the last place of any significance? And it's a little bit, again, I say a little bit. It's more than a little bit. It's quite a lot. Now that on the chart doesn't look like much, but if we were to measure that out, if we break down from here, which we probably will, that's another 48% move down, to the next level of what should be a resistance. A support. Sorry. Now we're going to move on to the log scale so we can see this a bit more in depth. Now, if that breaks down, then we've got this level here, which should offer some significance. I would probably move it down a little bit to go around these tops. So there is a chance that we could be held around here, but there's more likely that we will break down and find wicks down to these levels. And look, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm not even looking to catch knives. I'm just telling you now. So from this one, so this is already. Let's measure it from where we are right now. So from here down to here is about 48%, and then all the way down to here is another 86%. From where we are at right now. Okay, so I'm not going to bother measuring it from the top to the bottom just to show the max pain, but you can imagine what it would be like if it were to do that. So these are areas where we could consider bottoms to be. So we'll take it off log sale and we can have a look at what this might be and think about where it could be resolved time-wise. Okay, so the only time-wise. So let's just. Why does it do this? Why can I never get this? Why can I never get my dates to pop up in the future? So if this were to happen now and we came all the way down to here, that's another 38 bars. We're thinking around October-ish, maybe September, October-ish, we could be bottoming out, but that doesn't mean that we're going to spring from there. That means we're going to go into an accumulation period around about here. So I expect towards the end of this year, very much like I'm expecting with the majority of altcoins, that there will be a turnaround and another alt season. So that coincides with the way that I view the Bitcoin dominance chart, which is like this. So Bitcoin dominance was destroyed during this alt season, the best alt season I can remember. I would say it was better than this alt season because this alt season was based upon TA. This one was a speculative rally. This one was definitely... we saw this one coming months before it happened, so we were able to get our positions appropriately months before it happened. And this is what I'm trying to explain. It's about planning ahead, right? We love altcoins because they do such enormous runs and rallies, but we don't just love them in general, right? They can destroy people, and as you can see, they already have destroyed a lot of people, and they will continue to destroy people during this period. When Bitcoin dominance is low like this, we think about it in terms of risk to reward, right? So where would you rather... What's got the biggest move in it, do you think? Bitcoin dominance going up or Bitcoin dominance going down? Well, if it went down, it would be good for alts, but if it went up, it would be bad for alts, and we're already below the 50% mark, which some people might think that, well, you know, it's going down. And you're right, it is a bearish looking chart, but it has caught a bounce at this level, and this level is a significant one. And the last time we caught a bounce from here, it was a decent bounce. And look, this was 2018, bear market territory. There's going to be alt rallies all over the place, but I don't expect to see any kind of alt rally, never mind an alt season, until we reach about 52% dominance. Then we might get some relief rallies with altcoins, and those relief rallies, especially with things like VRA, could offer up, you know, 100 or more percent. They could, but that's not an alt season. They're just rallies based upon this Bitcoin dominance being rejected from areas of significance. But I don't think that this is strong enough to hold. I think what's likely to happen is we will get a rejection here, and it's definitely a move to be played, but it's not one to hold on to. The better area would be up here, and again, still, this is quite low. Historically, for Bitcoin, this is still quite low for Bitcoin dominance, but the market is different now. You know, the market caps for alts versus Bitcoin, you know, there's a lot more alts out there. They've matured in their technology. You know, there's a lot of money invested in them. They go in places, and so it is only fair that Bitcoin does share its market dominance. So I'm not expecting it to rally enormously, although that could be a possibility. And if it were to be, you can only imagine the devastation it would cause for some of these altcoins, especially these small cap ones like VRA. So we are expecting it to go down overall, as in VRA, and we are expecting this Bitcoin dominance to increase over time. Now, this is just rough. It's very rough and ready, and this is, I suppose, about as hopium as I can get. I would expect this chart to pan out like this on the weekly and reach a significant rejection where we can not only just play altcoins because we've come up to a resistance, but we can then transfer. All right, we're coming up to a resistance. Where are we on this chart? Is this chart, has it gone into a period of accumulation? And if it has, how long has it been there for? And is it showing signs of strength? Or at least any kind of signals to say it's going to turn around? Or is it just going to go into a sideways accumulation and stay there and miss the alt season because it's not accumulated for a long enough period of time? So this isn't something you want to buy now, in my opinion. I won't be buying it now. But what I will be doing is I'll be keeping a very close eye on this over the next few months, especially as we break down further to these lower levels. And whether we accumulate in this zone or this zone, I don't care. Maybe we could even accumulate in this zone where we are right now. But just because we hit these lows doesn't mean it's a buying point. I want to buy coins which are going to go up sooner rather than later. I want instant gratification. I don't want a dollar cost average into something that could go down another 80%. That's not really a very enticing way to make any kind of trades. You know, that's not really for me. But what I would like to do is buy into something that is going sideways, has a strong support, and then is showing signs of a likely turnaround, which then could yield 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think this is likely to do at some point. But until then, you know, you're not going to get a 10 or 20 or 30, 40, 50x until you buy it towards its lows, or at least recognize when its lows are in. That's where the big gains are made. You're not going to get the big gains by dollar cost averaging into this all the way down. That's not what you're not going to make big gains that way. The beauty of things like this is to dollar cost average into something like Bitcoin and then flip that Bitcoin into this when this has gone down another 70, 80, 90 or maybe even 99% down. And it can happen, trust me, it can happen. Seen it many times before. So let's put this on the map. It's on the radar. We've got a rough fix on how this is going to play out, which is down and then sideways and then up. and maybe if we're lucky, we will see that big up move, and it should be a big up move. We should see that towards the end of this year. But for the moment, it's a wait and see until we break out of, first of all, the consolidation. We go into an accumulation into some of these zones, and then we wait patiently to see if the time is right. Anyway, please feel free to leave some comments of hatred about my take on this. I'm prepared to see and hear all of it. But remember, I'm not saying that this coin. I'm not making videos just to say that this is something terrible. I'm making a video to say that this is something good in the future, but not now. It's not right now. And if you don't plan for what moves you're gonna and what trades you're gonna do in the future, then really you're planning to fail in many ways. So like I say, you can get excited, and you should be excited when you see significant downtrends in coins that have been quite so volatile. This is exciting stuff for me because it means that I get to scroll through all these, for want of a better word, shit coins, and enter it at a very, very good level, which should turn around shortly after I enter the trade. Right now, it's a wait, watch its demise. Do not be surprised how low it can possibly go. It can go very low. It can go very, very low. And that's good for us because we want to buy it at its lows. We do want to buy it at its lows. We don't want to buy it anywhere other than that. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day and take it easy.